I am so excited to talk to you about therapy intensives because I have really found them to be a great tool for doing some really deep transformative work in therapy. So, let me explain a little bit what they are. A therapy intensive is basically a longer time period of therapy done in a concentrated amount of time. So, for example, maybe you would have a 3 hour session 3 days in a row, or a retreat style where you would do a 3 hour session in the morning, a break in the afternoon, and a 3 hour session in the evening. And you would do that a day and a half or 2 days. So there's a variety of formats, but the basic idea is that you're really kind of getting more concentrated therapy in a in a time period. So let me talk a little bit about the benefits of this and the investment in that. I really am kind of an analogy person, so I'm going to use a couple of analogies that I think can be really helpful in explaining this. So let's pretend you're having a surgery, and the doctor says, okay, we're going to schedule an hour for the surgery. We're going to go in, we get you prepped, we go in and start the surgery. After about a half an hour, they say, okay, your hour's almost up. We need to kind of get you stitched back up and let the anesthesia wear off and go into the recovery room. And then when you're done, we'll find a time to schedule to do the rest of the surgery because we didn't get it done. And so you go in the next time and you do some prep work, and then you have some more surgery, and then they stitch you up again and lather, rinse, repeat. Obviously, if you're doing that for a medical procedure, it would be very difficult on the body and almost traumatic. And while it's not that extreme, it can be difficult in therapy as well to sort of do the in and out. You check in, you talk about what's happened in your week, and then when you finally kind of start to get to some of the places where you really need to process some of the healing, then you don't have much time before you need to kind of wrap up and get prepped for when your next session is going to be. And that constant in and out can be difficult on the emotional system and can take longer for the actual healing work to happen. And so therapy intensives really provide you that length of time to be able to do that. Now, let me say a minute about the word about the investment, because it is a little bit of more of an investment up front. And again, if I use an analogy, I think of it like Costco. I don't live really close to a Costco. I live about 45 minutes away. And so I'm not always that excited about taking 45 minutes and spending $30 on toilet paper. Um, I have other things I'd rather do with that. However, when I haven't done that and I just decide, okay, I'm just going to drive the 50 minutes to my grocery store, pick up a pack, call it good, spend my 10 bucks and be on my way. After doing that 3 times, I've you spent the same amount of time and I've spent the same amount of money, but if I would have gone to Costco, I'd still have 2 packs of toilet paper left. And so while it's more of an investment upfront, long term, the benefits sort of outweigh that investment. And I think the same can be true for therapy intensives, because you eliminate that kind of in and out. By the time you get to that kind of 45-minute mark where some of the deeper work is really starting to happen, you still have 2 hours to continue to do that work in a 3 hour intensive session. And so 3 hours of an intensive can end up to actually be more effective and get deeper levels of healing done than 3 individual hours of therapy. And so I really believe in therapy intensives. I think they can be transformative for whatever it is that you're coming in with. So if you want to find out more about therapy intensives or talk to me more about them, click the button